In this video, we're going to look closely at harmonic means. We're going to do a quick example to explain what that formula means, and then we'll see how to calculate harmonic means in Excel. So here's the important thing. Harmonic means are used to average rates. So what's an example of a rate? Well, let's go to gaming examples, and let's say you've got characters and you're about to go up against, you have a party and you have characters and you're about to go up against a boss, and against that boss, each character has a hit rate, the rate at which a hit is going to land on the boss. So let's say for the three characters in your party, the hit rates are 1/3. So for one character, 1/3 of all hits will do damage to the boss. For another, it's 1/5, and for the other, it's 2/7. Kind of low, maybe you're a low level character. So how do we find the average rate? Well, because these are rates, we use the harmonic mean, and so we've got to do what that little formula in the corner tells us to do. So let's start by looking at the bottom and looking at the things we're adding. The rates are our xi's, so we have x1 equals 1/3, x2 is 1/5, x3 is 2/7. So the formula says for each of them, invert them. So we flip 1/3 and get 3. We flip 1/5 and get 5. We flip 2/7 to get 7/2, which we'll write as a decimal as 3.5. These are the things we then add up in the bottom, in the denominator. We add those up and we get 11.5. And now that's our entire denominator. Since n is 3, because we have 3 characters, this formula tells us to divide 3 by 11.5. And 3 divided by 11.5 is about 0.26. So our average hit rate is about 26%, which is really close to 25%, which is about a quarter. Let's take a look at doing this in Excel. In this Excel spreadsheet, I've based the characters in a game on characters from my cousin's book, Architects of Memory, and the sequel, Engines of Oblivion. So those are a couple of sci-fi books. So I'm pretending there's a video game based on those books, and we've got 4 characters in our party: Ash, Natalie, Len, and Kate. And we have their hit rates as decimal versions of percentages. Notice Natalie is the highest. In the book, Natalie had been a soldier prior to the time the book takes place. So we've got Ash at 35%, Natalie at 72%, Len at 46%, and Kate at 29%. We're going up against our first boss, and we need to pick 3 out of these 4 that are allowed to actually fight. So we want to find the average hit rate among every possible party of 3 out of these 4. Now, you probably already know the highest average hit rate is going to come when you pick the 3 with the highest hit rate, individual hit rates. But let's calculate the average just to be sure. And since we're averaging rates, we use the harmonic mean. So how do we do that? How do we get the harmonic mean out of Excel? Well, it's built in, thankfully. So we type equals to tell Excel a formula is coming. And then the command for harmonic mean, you start out HAR, and it pops up. You can't, it's a little small here, but you can see HAR mean is the function. So we type equals HAR mean, and then we have to tell it what numbers to put in for the harmonic mean. Now in this case, we're not going to be able to drag and drop, so we have to actually feed the numbers in separately, separate them by commas. So we want Ash, whose hit rate is in B2, Natalie, whose hit rate is in B3, and Len, whose hit rate is in B4. So the average hit rate for the team of Ash, Natalie, and Len is about 46.7%. I'll convert these to percentages in a moment. Next, we want Ash, Natalie, and Kate. Well, this is almost the same. So we type in har mean for harmonic mean. Ash's hit rate is in B2. Natalie's hit rate's in B3. And now we skip over Len to get to Kate, and her hit rate is in B5. And that average is almost 39%. Well, it's about 39%. Now we've got Ash, Len, and Kate. Same approach. Harmonic mean, Ash is in B2. Len, we skip over Natalie, Len is in B4, and Kate is in B5. And their average hit rate is going to be about 35.4%. And finally, let's look at just Natalie, Len, and Kate. So same thing, harmonic mean. Natalie is in B2, Len is in B3, Kate is in B4, and we get approximately, I made a mistake there. It actually should be B3, 4, and 5. And we get approximately 42.8%. So just to see this in a format that helps us make decisions, I'm going to change these to percentages by highlighting them. We've seen this before. I press the percent button, and maybe we want one more decimal place of accuracy. So 46.7%, 39.0%, 35.4%, and 42.8%. Those are our average hit rates. And if you take a look, the strongest, of course, is the team that has the highest three individual rates, Ash, Nat, and Len. And we see the weakest is the one that the three smallest. In other words, it's the party that doesn't include Natalie, who has the strongest. So if we don't have our slowest, our former soldier, our average hit rate drops quite a bit. Point here, harmonic mean is used to average rates, and it's accessible in Excel. In the next video, we're going to start looking at geometric means.